and my fellows. Today, before I start, I would like to ask you a few questions. Have you ever made wishes and it actually came true? Sometimes, right? Have you ever wondered why would that happen? Is it because of some magical fairies just work along overnight while you're sleeping? Probably no. So today, let me introduce you to something called the law of attractions. It's the idea that positive thinking can bring us positive results, and meanwhile, negative thinking can also bring us not so great ones. Even though it's not scientifically proven, it does overlap with some real psychology. So today, we are going to first selective attention, and second visualization, followed by an experiment called open-label placebo. And lastly, I will explain two biases which strengthens people's belief in the law of attraction. Okay, let's begin. What happened after you made a wish? You're actually noticing more things related to that. Say for example, like if you really want to buy a red Porsche, and you suddenly realize there are a lot of red cars on the street. This is what psychologists call top-down processing, and it is part of selective attention. It means that your brain basically became a filter, just picking up and filter out the information that related to your goals and wishes. And in simple words, you will see what you think about. Okay. And here's another technique which makes law of attraction sound a little bit religious, which is manifestation. Or in academic way, we can say it as visualization. Visualization, in terms of law of attractions, refers to the actions that you try to imagine and try to feel the moment when your goals are happening. For example, I will also do visualization before I give this speech because I'm kind of nervous and excited about this. And it does help lower down anxiety and kind of like a mental rehearsal before big events. Okay, I hope I'm making myself clear over here, but I know some of you might not still buy into the whole ideas of law of attraction, and that's fair. But listen to this. Recently, scientists held an experiment called open-label placebo, which means that even though people knew the pill, the medication they were taking was fake, it still helped them to feel better. So crazy, right? Maybe the belief itself can change our mindset and bring activity, such that if we believe in law of attraction, the belief itself can change our behaviors and action that help us to reach closer and closer to our dreams. Okay, but let's be real. What if nothing happens and none of your wishes come true even though you follow the laws of attractions? Never mind, your brain will got your back. Your brain will still even just lying to you and say something like, oh, I knew my exam is not going to pass because I didn't do manifestation last Wednesday. But is it true? Is it the only thing to blame? Obviously no. Therefore, it's called a bias, or what we call hindsight bias, the I knew it all along effect. Okay. Our brain was just lying to us, even though when our dreams do come true. It is what we call confirmation bias, which means that you just remember the times that the dreams do work out and the things that matches your belief, and just filter out and forget the information that didn't match your goals and your belief in law of attraction. So in the end, whether manifestation succeeds or fail, your brain will still help us to believe that it works. So our brain is pretty supportive, right? Okay, so to put it all in a word, the overall introduction of law of attraction is actually a fascinating reflection of how powerful our brain can be. Simply when we focus, visualize, and believe, we are actually training our brains to look for opportunities, to feel prepared, and even take actions. Okay, so it's not about the universe giving us what we want, but it's about the brain helping us to get there ourselves. So, after all, wishes alone won't change your life, but believing in yourself and doing something about it just might. Like, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. I was wondering, based on all of this interesting knowledge or facts, how will you suggest us to apply this kind of knowledge in our daily life?
Okay. Thank you for your question. I would like to share one of my experience in applying the law of attractions. One time I'm taking my driving test, and this is my second time because I failed the first time, and I'm really nervous about this because I think all of my friends will laugh at me if I fail twice. Therefore, I just do visualization and just imagine what happened when I'm doing the test and taking the driving test. Yeah, and I keep visualizing every night, every moment before the exams, and it does help lower down the anxiety when I'm taking the exam. And actually helped me to improve my performance during the exam because I'm less anxious and less excited about the exam. Yeah.
So you think visualization or mentalization is helpful for us to use this kind of positive psychology in our daily lives to improve our have a dream come true, right?
Yeah, just when you are having some goals and dreams that you want to reach, then you can maybe do visualization to help you to do something mental rehearsal and to do some practicing before the events happen and lower down your anxiety to make you perform more better. Yeah, better. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Can you think of a downside of this psychology? For instance, I mean, if you sort of preach this to, let's say, the low caste in India, and that would be killing them. No? Right, so what's the downside of this psychology? It could be stressful. I mean, you always wish for something that you know you will never get.
Yeah, I know what you're
Right,
saying.
so there's a downside.
Okay, thank you for your question.
Yeah.
There is a downside. That's why there's two bias to explain why still people will still believe that law of attraction works, even it just doesn't work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But for me, I think the downside of it would be making people so religious, so believing in something that didn't have any actual objects to see or to. They would just believe it when it works and don't believe it when it didn't work. So
It sounds like opium. It sounds like opium. You're asking to take opium. You sort of, it's not fact. You're just
Yeah,
sort of distorting their.
So people shouldn't just believe in something just. You should always ask questions when you encounter a topic, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good question to question about a law. Is this a law because people will always say this, this universe giving us what we want, but I think it's just actually a demonstration of our brain activities to helping us to get there. Not all of the moments will be true, will be correct, but it's just explaining how our brains can help ourselves sometimes in reality.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.